Hey guys, so I am about to edit this video and I realized that in the filming of this, I meant to sit down and actually do like a sit down intro saying like, hey, this is what I'm doing, but I never did. So we're gonna do kind of like vlog style here. Basically, I was hired to do some wedding makeup, and so I had this big makeup kit set up, everything that I would do to do someone's makeup as a professional makeup artist, right? I talk about everything that I use, how I set up the kit, basically tips and stuff that I've had to learn along the way as a makeup artist, and things that sometimes we don't think of, and I've thought of it and I've come up with some really good things that you want to have in your kit. And so I made this video to do that, and I show you basically just me going through the kit to show you what I put where, what I have in the kit, etc, etc. And I will also maybe leave some stuff down in the description of things that I would personally make sure not to forget, especially now that we are in COVID times. There are so many things that you want to think about as a makeup artist. So yeah. And that being said, let's go ahead and jump into this kind of vlog style video of me showing you everything that is in my makeup artist kit so that you can create yours. Okay, you guys, so jumping in, this is the first layer of the kit. So no matter how I have it set up, this is always the first layer because it has the handle on it. So it opens up like this, and then kind of like tri-folds, or I guess, yeah, kind of like tri-folds outwards. So you have a lot of space, and realistically, this is actually a very good size for something for like one person maybe, if you just want to have like, just like your makeup in here for yourself. This would be like a great place to put all that. However, in this first layer, I kind of organize the cart by tier of like complexion products, stuff like that, things that go first generally. So in here, that's exactly what I have. I have all of the complexion products and pretty much everything I would need to do someone's makeup. It's a little bit disorganized right now because I did just have a client event situation. So I actually did 3 makeup like looks in one day, and so I knew I was gonna have to have a lot of products, so we're gonna go through that today. So first we're gonna jump into this little section right here. So here I have a lot of foundations, and I personally, as a makeup artist, always ask my clients to send me, if I don't know them personally, have them send me photos of their skin before I do their makeup. This way, number one, I know what complexion products I need to have, and number two, it allows me to know what I'm going to be working with, and how maybe difficult, or if there's going to be blemishes to cover up or something like that. So the reason that I have these colors in here is because the women that I did their makeup were kind of in this shade range. For most of them, I ended up using this foundation. This is probably my go-to like client foundation because most clients want something really long wearing, so even if they have very dry skin, I'll go in with something hydrating. But I love this foundation for my clients. It's super affordable, it's liquidy enough, it has absolutely no like compromising effect because it doesn't have like a wand applicator, so I can just dump it in to a palette and work off of the palette. This foundation has a ton of shades, and so if I'm going to be doing clients with either a lighter or a darker complexion, I know that this product has their shade pretty much. But just in case, I also had a bunch of other foundations in my kit as mixing foundations in case, you know, this didn't work out. But as a makeup artist, I think these are like $5 a piece. This is a super affordable foundation that is very high-end, like comparable. Moving on, all of the foundations that I have here, and for a reason they're like this, they either are squeezy tube or a pump packaging. That is super important. You don't want to be putting a like wand applicator foundation on your clients unless you can put it on a palette. Here are some of my favorite drugstore foundations. I generally think that drugstore foundations are just as good as high-end foundations, and I would not use something on a client that I wouldn't use on myself, and I love all of these foundations, so I felt comfortable using them on my clients. So in here, I also have a primer just because it fit here. Or this is the Haley's Beauty Refine Primer. This is a pore filling primer. Because I did have photos of my clients prior to doing their makeup, I knew what their skin texture would kind of be like, and so I knew I wanted to go with something pore filling. In addition to that, here I also have the MAC Painterly Paint Pot, or sorry, this is the Soft Ochre Paint Pot, and it is just, I pretty much just had it in here as a backup. I ended up not using it, but I love a lot of variety when I do people's makeup. Okay, so next, moving on to this tier of the case. So I have some primers here, but again, I also have most of my concealers here, also some powders. One of the things I have to say is that as long as you can find everything, and as long as it's organized enough to you, that's great. It wasn't perfectly organized the first time around, but at least I had an idea of where things were. It is more disorganized now than before though. I have my tried and true e.l.f. Jelly Pop Dew Primer. I love this so much, and it's really great for clients as well because it is super long wearing. I also have my e.l.f. Ride or Die in the Mighty Mint flavor. I chose this one again because it is a squeezy tube, so if they have really dry lips at the beginning, I can just pop some of this on, and it's clear, it's moisturizing, and I can just squeeze it out and apply it with a brush. So next, let's jump into concealers. I have a ton of concealers here. I also have this NYX glitter primer just in case I wanted to do glitter on anyone, and I have all these concealers. So again, I knew they're like skin tone, so I brought some of my darker like medium shade concealers, and then I also brought this one. This is a foundation and concealer. This would be really great for cream contour or for just darkening up any foundation or anything. It's much darker than pretty much anything else that I brought with me, but I brought it just in case as like a backup. I ended up not needing to use it, but you never know. And then I have my Haley's Beauty Retouch Perfecting Powder. I love this powder. It is so soothing, and it is also super moisturizing in a way. It's not drying at all. This is amazing. So next, if I open it up, down here I have like single products. So I have some highlighters. This is a Steve Laurent Jelly highlighter, which is super kind of minimal. It's not a super intense highlighter, so this one's good. I have a Wet n Wild blush, just like loose products here. Next, moving on to kind of like the belly of the beast situation. I have a lot of random stuff in here. A lot of this is tools and just things I knew I would need, things that didn't fit up here. So I have my Peach Perfect powder by Too Faced. Again, a super beautiful smoothing powder. I have this it was a Mary Kay brush cleaner at one point, but this is actually just a bottle of alcohol. I like to make sure to keep alcohol in my kit, number one, so I can like wipe things down if I need to. It's a good disinfectant. It cleans brushes really easily. If you happen to get makeup on your client, this will pretty much take it off. So yeah, a bottle of alcohol, always have in your kit. I personally like to have it in a spray bottle. I also have the regular Poreless Putty Primer from e.l.f. I have one of my favorite like super basic daytime moisturizers. This is the Pumpkin and Spice Day Moisturizer. This is super lightweight. I knew that like it wouldn't irritate anyone's skin. It's very like very mild, and I really like it. It's vegan, cruelty free, made in the US. Really good ingredients, so I love this. And then I also packed an eye cream. So in case they didn't have any kind of skincare or their skin was really dry before makeup, I always like to pack just a little bit of skincare just to be sure that I can kind of account for anything. I also have my Flawless Finishing Touch little face razor because you never know what you're going to encounter as a makeup artist, and what you can and cannot work around, and sometimes, you know, this is just a good thing to have. I also make sure to have tweezers just in case. And I used to have a full pack of these like when I started, you know, when I went to go do the makeup. But these are just little reusable mascara wands. So I also packed new mascaras and stuff like that because what I want to make sure I'm able to do is put on mascara on my client that hasn't been on my eyes or anyone else's eyes. And so I can go in with this wand and not touch their face with it. I also have some liquid glitter shadows. This is super important as well. I got mine off of either eBay or Amazon. This is a mixing palette, and this is really great for just like applying foundation, concealer, liquid products, mixing them around. However, shade matching, this is really awesome. And then last but not least, I also have an eyelash curler. I ended up not using this, but I brought it just in case. And that's it for this large compartment. And then for this smaller compartment, I have like eyebrows, mascaras, lash glue, eyeliners, things like that. So first, this is actually a applicator for masks, like face masks, but I love using it to put above the eye when I'm applying mascara. That way it doesn't touch the eyeshadow. Always have a pair of scissors to cut lashes. This is super important as well. I like to make sure to have a pot eyeliner. This one is my favorite. This is the Maybelline Eye Studio Blackest Black, or in the color Blackest Black. This is amazing because you can, this is waterproof. You can put it on your clients with a brush. It won't get like smudged around when they're crying or something. So this is awesome as well. And basically this completes this top compartment. Just things that I need to have at the ready and like the beginnings of any makeup look. Okay, so then this is the next tier, and here I have palettes. Let's start with the face products that I have in here. So I have my Morphe Glamour Bronze Bronzer in the shade Icon. I love this. It is super versatile for eyeshadow, for bronzer, for even contouring. It's beautiful. Next, I have my LA Girl Island Hottie Blush Palette. I truly believe that this is one of the most amazing blush palettes. It's so versatile and like works for every season, so I really love this. Next up, I have the California Love Palette by ColourPop. This is a really great palette. I actually used this on pretty much every person I did their makeup that day because it's just beautiful. It's neutrals, it's shimmery, it has a nice brown. It's a really great palette for clients. Oh, I said I was doing face products first and I totally got sidetracked, but I also have the Cheek Leader Bronze Squad palette in here. I love this. I think that Hula Caramel actually works really nicely for a few of the deeper skin tones that I did makeup on that day. It's just a nice versatile palette. I really like it. I love the blushes in here. This highlight is super intense. To be even more versatile, I brought the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. This is also really great because it has some really deeper colors in here, but also goes pretty fair. And just if we didn't have enough highlight, I decided to bring this Anastasia highlight trio, which was great because it gives me the range of having like medium skin tones, very fair, and very deep skin tones, and I can highlight with all of these. And then moving on to eyeshadows, I brought the Naked Urban Decay palette because it is like a nice palette if you want something cool toned, and personally I don't love cool tone looks, but they're just not my favorite, but like some people really want that, and I figured I'd bring it just in case. I have the ColourPop Good as Gold palette. I also used this on my clients that day because similar to the California Love palette, I feel like they work really well in conjunction. So this one has a bit more shimmer, this one has a bit more transition shades, and this one has a black, this one has a dark brown. I mean, they just work really nicely together. Okay, but all of that aside, two of the palettes that I brought, especially this one, this is a great palette. It's so amazing. I've actually used it recently on my channel, and I will like link the look that I did with this palette on my channel down below. I think I've done like 2 or 3 so far, but this is a great palette just for yourself if you're traveling because it has a huge mirror, like really nice quality mirror, but then it also has pretty much everything you need. It has those like pinky purples, highlight shades, transition shades, and darker shades, and then it goes up to like a bunch of different like formulas, so it even has glitters in here. Okay guys, so here is the next tier of this. This is like the last like tiered section of it. And this I kept a bunch of lashes and just a bunch of tools pretty much. So I get packs of sponges like this because they're really great to like not use like a beauty sponge that can like hold bacteria from other people's skin. So basically I keep these in here. These are probably my favorite. You can dampen them, you can not dampen them. They work for lots of different things. I also have some like hair clippy things because the last thing I want is like my client's hair getting all over their face while I'm trying to work. And of course, this is why we have alcohol, you guys. So anything that I'm going to use from client to client, I sanitize before doing so. I didn't need to use these because the women were already getting their hair done, so their hair was in curlers, but like I did this and I sanitized everything I used between clients, and I also put on hand sanitizer between clients. So this was important to have, especially now with Corona. And I did wear a mask. And then I have a ton of lashes because some of my clients did want lashes, and I wanted to be able to make sure that I basically provided them with every option possible in case they didn't like something. There was plenty of options. This is probably overkill, I understand that. However, I couldn't bring myself to say no. I also packed in here a fan brush and also this one I actually put in a different compartment, but it's like a little like portable chargeable fan, and I love this one. I ideally would only bring this one, but you never know if this one's gonna die or something, and so I also brought this one as well. Okay you guys, so last but not least is this large compartment, and this one has wheels. It's super deep, and it also has a luggage like pulling system, which is awesome. And in here I keep larger items, so I have a roll of paper towels because that way when I lay out my brushes I know they're going on a clean surface. I also have disinfectant wipes. This is always good to have in your kit, just like alcohol, but especially with Corona it's amazing to be able to wipe down any surfaces, literally anything. This is so important. I also have some makeup wipes, but these are really important to have in your kit because especially if obviously your like client can't wash their face before you do their makeup, or it's like the middle of the day when you're doing their makeup, it's really good to just wipe off any excess oils that they might have on their skin. I also have these sponges in here. So I know I said that these carry a lot of bacteria. These are brand new, but I brought them just in case because I'm a just in case kind of person. So I brought these as well. And last but not least, I have 3 Ziploc bags with brushes in them. The reason for this is because each bag has exactly the brushes I need to create a full makeup look. So I have a lot of brushes for this reason so that I can have duplicates and be able to like, so I have like for example 4 or 5 different brushes that would do the same thing, and so I have some in my kit and then some that I packed away for, you know, client makeup. So I have everything I would need: eyeshadow brushes, eyebrows, face, foundation brushes, everything in here. And what I do is I make sure to wash all the brushes, disinfect them with alcohol after that, and then let them dry before the appointment. And then I pack them up like this so that when I get there I can lay out my paper towel, lay out the brushes, and I'm good to go. And then of course, since I did 3 people's makeup that day, I have 3 entire bags so that I am able to just quickly switch between clients. And now when I get home, I can wash them, make sure they're good to go, and I'll have clean brushes. The very last thing that is in this kit, and I definitely could use a smaller bag, but basically it's just all the lip products that I thought I was going to need for this event. I pretty much only ended up using, I think, these 2 lip colors. I also have lip liners in here, but I also packed a red just in case someone was feeling saucy. These are amazing. I think these are definitely a necessity in your makeup artist kit because these are super incredibly long wearing, and especially even with masks, like, you know they're gonna last. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video so much. I really hope it was helpful. That is obviously the ultimate goal here. So let me know if you have any questions down below and I will be happy to answer them for you. And with that being said, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and I will see you all in my next one. Bye guys!